Welcome back to yet another episode of Renegades Ramble.
Yeah, I remember playing Twisted Metal 2 on a little pool.
Yeah, like they were this big, little
built-in
bubble back.
VCR.
Yeah, had a little VCR in the bottom.
Yeah. Do it again. Why does
Same thing
it
as
always
last
do
time.
that?
Your phone is too loud.
Good one. Good one, Round. Good one. Who here remembers Nickelodeon?
Yeah, everybody called me that all the fucking time. When I was young.
That's right.
Oh.
Nick, Nicholas Owen. Sorry. So yeah, Nickelodeon was an awesome channel. Still is an awesome channel in some ways. But to me, nothing will beat the peak years for me. I don't know. For me as a kid, I grew up on Pete and Pete. I grew up on.
I am Artie, the strongest man in the world.
Whoa.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yes, Kirk Fogg.
Yeah.
Do 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 do.
Like, I remember that with temple music.
Yeah, you remember all that?
Turn the fucking monkey head around, you dimwit.
Yeah, you remember all that?
Yes.
It had awesome. Keenan and Kel on it, Josh, Lori Beth, Amanda Bynes at one point.
Yeah.
Heck, even Gabriel Iglesias was on there at one point too.
Didn't actually realize that.
Oh yeah, he was like 22 at the time.
Huh.
He was the oldest person on the crew. It was when they had to. It was, I think, after the show went off off the air for a year, they came back with a whole new cast, and it was really cool. But my favorites were always Keenan and Kel.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh, yep. Yes. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
That was my first horror show I ever watched.
That to me, like, going back and watching it now, some of the episodes are really cheesy, but some of them are trippy as hell.
Yeah.
Some of them were trippy as hell. Like
that one with the creatures that came out of the lake.
Oh yes.
That scared the crap out of me. And
Also,
there was the one
where
the girl got cursed and she started rotting, and that was creepy as fuck.
And then there was also the one with the pool. The one where the kid got
Yeah.
dragged under in the pool and they never found his body. And they actually, I remember when they were pouring the red dye into the pool to try and get to see what the shape looked like. And then it came out, and it was this terrifying freaking concoction of some of your worst nightmares.
Yeah.
And it could erode itself and put itself under the door and everything. One my sister really liked was The Adventures of Alex Mack. You remember it?
I remember the name of it, but I don't remember if I ever watched that much. I feel like I probably did though.
Well, it was really good.
I also remember like Clarissa Explains It All.
My sister, another one my sister.
Yeah,
loved.
I watched a lot of like the live action Nickelodeon, but then I did watch like some of the Nicktoons too.
Well, yeah,
I'm trying to remember what all was actually on Nicktoons.
Oh, Angry Beavers.
Yes, I watched Angry Beavers.
Gosh.
Rocco.
Modern Life.
Yeah, Rocco.
Gosh.
There was more too.
I know there was. Son of a bitch.
Was Hey Arnold on Nicktoons?
Yes, Hey Arnold was Nicktoons. So was shit, dude. There's so many great ones. Honestly, let's let Doug just jog our memories real quick.
So I remember like after Nickelodeon, I switched to Cartoon Network, and I became a Cartoon Network fan.
Same here. Sad but true.
Yeah, it used to be really good though. Is Nickelodeon even still on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Fairly Odd Parents is. I think Fairly Odd Parents is still going. It might have ended. I know Butch Hartman left.
Yeah, he
was
left.
SpongeBob on Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
SpongeBob. That was another like late season Nicktoon that I got into for like the first few seasons.
It was kind of like past when I was watching stuff.
Yeah, it was past my prime for the most part too.
So I think about the time that SpongeBob started to get popular is when I started to switch to Cartoon Network.
For me, when Cartoon Network started doing Toonami, I was gone.
Yeah, that was the thing is I came home after school one day and I found Cartoon Network like one Saturday morning, you know, so I was watching I think they showed Batman on there maybe.
Yeah.
And then they had some other good cartoons I was watching. But when I came home from school, I was like, yeah, I'll see what's on Cartoon Network. That was a pretty cool channel. And they just start this Toonami thing. I'm like, what is this? And then they show Dragon Ball Z, and I'm like, what is this?
It's like this.
And I'm watching it, and I was like, I don't know what's going on, but it looks cool as fuck.
Yeah, this is it.
And then Gundam comes on, and I'm like,
your mind just goes. Your mind explodes. You're just like, what the frick?
I'm like, I've been animated in the face, and I like it.
Yeah, because and there's a whole section on Toonami we'll get to later on.
Animated.
Yeah, Animood. You got Animood and Mangoed.
Yeah.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's get to this. This is the Nostalgia Critic reviewing the Nicktoons. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember it, so you don't have to.
Man, this is
Hey,
old.
everybody! It's January. You know what that means?
What?
Probably not, because I just made it up. It's Nickelodeon Month.
I remember this shit. This is the most Nostalgia Critic I've watched so far.
This is his old style where he really went back in time and actually did stuff like this.
Nickelodeon, the first television network made for kids, by kids. Well, okay, not by kids, that would be stupid, but certainly the first television network for kids. This was a groundbreaking channel with a groundbreaking notion. And what did this groundbreaking
God, I remember
creation
like
give
all
us?
of this.
Mostly British and Canadian shows. But
Yep.
we didn't care, it was on all the time. That is until evening when it would switch over to older adult shows on Nick at Night. But even those were so unplausible and ridiculous that we enjoyed them too. But let's be honest, after a while there's only so many reruns
I Love
of
Lucy.
syndicated shows
I
that
love-
they could
yeah.
run.
That's
So
where I first saw
Nickelodeon
that.
finally made the logical choice to produce their own material. And what was the result? Nicktoons, a series
Yes,
of
I'm pretty sure that
cartoons
was
made
on
specifically for the
Yes,
Nickelodeon
Doug.
channel.
Rugrats, Ren and
Ren and
Stimpy.
Stimpy.
And they even
Real
continue to
Monsters is
trademark
another
name
good
of
one.
Nicktoons even to this day. But we were there when they first popped up, and don't you forget it. So, let's take a look at one of their finest and certainly strangest of shows, Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
A lot of people have mixed
My mom
feelings
actually
towards
didn't
this
want me to
cartoon,
watch
and
this
there's
when I
a
was
good
little.
reason. It's
My mom
friggin'
didn't want me either,
insane.
but I did
Little
anyway.
made sense, and half the time the humor came from just how totally out of control and psychotic it was. And it kicked ass! Sure, it was gross and vulgar, but on the other hand, it was gross and vulgar. Kids love that kind of stuff, and this was one of the first cartoon shows to totally
Like
engross
super
us.
surreal
I know the
shit.
cartoon looked or
Powdered
acted
Toast Man
like
was from
it
Ren and
was something
Stimpy, right?
completely
Yep.
different.
Yeah, Powdered
So,
Toast Man was like my
how can I
favorite.
really describe what this show
Powdered
is like? Well, it's
Toast
got the big dumb cat named Stimpy
Man.
and angry Mexican
Actually, I always
girl.
wanted to make a Powdered Toast Man cosplay.
And the rest, in all honesty, is pretty much like talking to a kid
Because he's a
on the alternate
badass.
of
He's
Sugar
Powdered Toast
Highs.
Man.
Hey kid, what do you want to see on TV?
I don't know.
Have some candy.
I want to see a dog and cat dancing around like Jello. Then I want to see them hit their butts together because butts are funny. Then I want them to tell my grandmother to suck eggs.
I'll teach your grandmother to suck eggs.
I want them to take a hammer and smash themselves on the head with it.
One of the biggest controversies about the show is whether or not Ren and Stimpy are gay. To which the creator of the show, John Kay, answered, I don't know. That's none of my business.
That's a good answer.
For one of my countdowns, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. But let's just say the show definitely knew how to capture the craziest side of our silliness. So, let's move on to Nickelodeon's other biggest hit, Rugrats. This was made at a more innocent time, where growing babies were funny.
Man, I tried to watch
Humor was
Rugrats again, though, and it
acceptable,
doesn't really
keyboard
hold up.
synthesizers seemed to rule the earth.
There is one scene above all that holds up better than anyone else. Better than any other one. You know what that is?
Did it involve Grandpa?
Nope.
Okay. I don't
It
know what
involved Stu. Stu was downstairs in the kitchen mixing something in a bowl. Dee Dee walks in and she says, Stu, what are you doing? Making chocolate pudding. It's 4 a.m. in the morning. Why are you making chocolate pudding? Because I've lost control of my life.
Yeah.
That's like so relatable.
Yeah,
In so
well-
many ways.
Little did we know we were all going to grow up to be Stu.
Yeah, one day. At least one of us will. So anyway, yeah, let's get back to it. Sorry.
The show was pretty much about babies. And that's it. It was pretty much just about babies. they dealt with tough, nail-biting dilemmas like, can't the dog come with us? Or, do we need to take a nap? Or, you want me to do what on there?
They call it getting potty trained.
Actually, this episode is probably one of the most famous, as it talks about what all little kids love to talk about, shitting.
They're trying to make me use that instead of my diaper. Aw, that can't happen. Yeah, how's it gonna fit in your pants?
Aw, this is just too precious.
Maybe you could just stop pooping altogether.
And that's just
Put a lot of napkins in your pants and use them like a diaper.
That's even grosser.
Maybe you could poop in your room and hide it in your toy box.
Okay, stop!
Oh God!
What do you call it? Poopy or pooper or whatever? It's still shit! You're talking about shit! Knock it off! You're grossing me out!
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's charming.
They can't make me. I'm gonna wear my diapers forever, and nobody is gonna stop me.
Don't worry, kid. When you get to be 80, you have to wear them again anyway. Speaking of growing up, I always imagine what these kids would look like when they eventually got older. I think everybody imagined that. Like, Chucky would grow up to be Garth, Tommy would grow up to be Paul Giamatti, twins would grow up to be John and Joan Cusack because they already look alike, and the always power-hungry Angelica, well, for some reason I always saw her as Hillary Clinton. I can't help it. It's just a
I
thing
see
that pops in my
that.
head.
I see that.
Yep.
They always open in a strange way. That is, they usually do an extreme close-up of something and then eventually back off to show us what it is. That sounds fine and good, but what happens when the image almost looks perverted like this one?
Back up. Back up.
Is it two pigs humping? Is it the inside of a woman's...
No.
What is that? Oh, it's the inside of a dog's mouth panting. Duh. The other kids are cute, I guess. The one kid that everyone seems to remember is Angelica for being such a bratty little bitch.
You little babies really make me laugh. Can I tell the phone? Ha 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 ha. But you dummies know anything?
Yeah, everyone remembers how harsh she was, but here's the thing. She's so mean that she's actually kind of creepy. Don't believe me? Look what happens when I put her face over these disasters.
I see
But
it.
not even Angela and all her negativity can prepare you for the scariest, ugliest, most horrifying creation that Nickelodeon Studios has ever produced.
Oh God. Oh no.
Perhaps
Fucking
some
love
of you are
Doug.
wondering
Oh,
why
no.
I think so
Bag the
hard.
nematode!
Well, it used to be a relatively harmless cartoon. Well, let's just say you knew someone with a very similar name, someone who grew up with that name all his life. And happened to be
Also,
raised
the
at
show
exact
produced
same
my
time
first
this show
favorite
came
fictional
out.
band,
Do
The
you
Beats.
think any jokes or funny remarks in connection with this show could possibly affect his life in any negative way? Do you? Do you?
Look, it's Doug Funny! Hey, Doug Funny, where's Patty Mayonnaise? Funny on the way to school? You're Doug Funny! You're Doug Funny! You're Doug Funny! You're Doug
Excuse me, I just having another one of my random psychotic episodes brought on by this very show.
Oh.
Luckily, I didn't take anyone's life this time.
Never thought about that.
But with that said, this was a pretty lame show. I mean, the show was pretty much
No,
just
it
about a
wasn't.
kid who went to high school, and that's it. It was pretty much just about a kid who went to high school.
Oh come on.
Doug, or Doug Funny if you want to know his full name, has some very odd friends like Mosquito Valentine, Bud Dink, his dog Porkchop, and Patty Mayonnaise. What is up with these names? What, you didn't have room for Johnny Picture Frame? Larry Toilet Paper? Or Susie Contraceptive? He spends most of his time going after Patty Mayonnaise because, well, she looks pretty. And apparently that's all he needs.
Patty Mayonnaise.
She's just as bland as I am. Also, what is up with everybody's skin color in this show? Did the town get infected by radioactive poisoning?
No, man. Let me take care of this.
I never liked them blue people. On top of that, the music always sounds like it's literally farting out its soundtrack. Just listen.
called beatboxing.
We're gonna need a faster tempo. Howard, more pork and beans. There's also this bully named Roger who constantly tries to make Doug's life a living hell. Why? Because all kids with leather jackets are just bullies now. Didn't you know that? It's like an official law. He also travels around with his pet cat named Stinky, who probably lives up to his namesake. This show is so unrealistic. I mean, what kind of boy would travel around with a cat, wear leather, cover his hair in gel, obsess over his looks, and constantly go after a submissive boy roughly his age? Oh. I think the best way to describe this is kind of like the early episode of The Simpsons. They're not funny, not well animated, and surround you in a world of awkward uncomfortableness. But whereas The Simpsons got funny, Doug just psychologically tortured me for life. I mean, psychologically tortured anyone named Doug for life. Next show! Rocko's Modern Life. This show was kind of like Ren and Stimpy, except maybe a little bit more reserved and not quite as controversial. But it did capture a lot of the zaniness, as the show's main character was a tiny kangaroo with an Australian accent.
Wallaby.
This is the one that my mom didn't want me to watch, but I actually did watch.
Must have been the battle.
So I didn't watch that much Ren and Stimpy, but I definitely watched a lot of Rocko.
You know, the great war of the Australian stereotypes. Where the dingoes flew high into the night, attacking the armies of Shrimp on the Barbie, but the ancient League of Fosters bombed all the alligator hunters, leaving nothing but the kangaroos and eucalyptus leaves to brave the darkness. Or so I've heard. Rocko also has a cast of interesting characters, most notably a cow named Heifer, who's kind of like an inbred version of the starfish from SpongeBob, Filbert Turtle, who looks like Woody Allen and is just as slimy, and of course, the Big Heads, who I swear are just the Grinch's testicles if they sprouted legs and started complaining about everything.
Oh, Ed, this mountain cabin sounds so romantic.
You know, I used to be a man, but I thought my voice was too feminine, so I changed. Rocko himself is a pretty normal and innocent character, but the adventures he embarks on certainly are not. For example, there's one episode where Filbert is looking to practice dentistry on his friend, so he takes him to the Academy of Dentists where he performs in front of a stadium of people, but that's not the weird part. He is then taught by a teacher who is a cat with a hook for a hand, but that's not the strange part. One of Rocko's teeth breaks loose, grows 7 stories high, and starts attacking the city by destroying all the buildings while Filbert tries to dress up like the Tooth Fairy to stop him. But that's not the strange part, no. The strange part is this.
Hey kids, my name is Gordon. Let's talk about good
Agreed.
And now his teeth are in perfect condition. You bet they are.
So for as fucking weird as many of these jokes get, sometimes they hit a little too close in familiarity. Like, tell me if this bit sounds familiar at all.
I never really wanted to be a dentist anyway. I always wanted to be a chimney sweep.
I didn't want to be a barber anyway. I wanted to be a lumberjack.
Leaping from roof to roof of the O-Town high-rises.
Leaping from tree to tree as they float down the mighty rivers of British Columbia.
And I'd sing.
We'd sing!
I mean, there's paying homage and then there's just plain ripping off. And I mean it. These rip-offs of great comedians have to stop. Alright, enough is enough. This is the final. This is the very, very last straw. Well, at least we get some originality from the next show that popped up.
Real Monsters. I remember I had the game on SNES. That was good.
When the show came out, so I didn't watch much of it. But when I did,
I think I got to play that game like once.
All the monsters looked creative and had really funny and enjoyable personalities. The story was about an academy of monsters whose job was to go out into the world, scare the daylights out of people, and return back with their report of their progress. Gee, wouldn't it be horrible if some other successful studio pawned that off as their idea? Oh, bullshit! So in the lineup, he had Hickeys, who kind of looked like the noise from the Downey commercials. Crumb, who looks like how most people look after laser eye surgery. Just keeping it real, people. And Oblina, who kind of looks like Beetlejuice's dildo, if he had one. I guess she's supposed to have some sort of accent, but God help me if I can tell you which one.
They've got to do something. If humans are not afraid of him, they could lose their fear of all monsters.
It's like somebody said, this character has an accent. Oh, okay, what kind? Just
Isn't it the same voice actor as Dexter?
They all have to work for their intimidating boss known as the Grumble, who I swear is the cartoon version of Tim Curry from Rocky Horror Picture.
Yeah!
I'm just a sweet transvestite. The show was good, but I always had the feeling that some of these jokes ended don't. Like, listen to some of these lines and tell me if they sound decent to you.
Have you forgotten why you're here? Our mothers and fathers loved each other very much, so they...
They what? They what?
If you see a monster, just say, Coochie, Coochie, Coo!
Alright, nobody's going Coochie Coo around my monster.
Aren't you supposed to use 2 fingers?
Next cartoon.
Oh, I did not realize
Yep.
there was stuff like that in
This
that
is the last
cartoon.
show I'm going to talk about because this is when I officially stopped watching Nickelodeon. I actually never saw a single episode of this show, but I know a lot of people did, so I decided
Really?
to take a look at it. From what I can gather, it's a show pretty much just about a kid in the Bronx. And that's it. It's pretty much just about a kid in the Bronx. Adventure! It's a tough time where kids walk like they're at a production of West Side Story. Girls repeatedly shout the word Arnold for some strange reason.
Arnold! Arnold! Arnold!
And an army of boys against an army of girls ultimately results in the boys very politely stepping out of their way. I'm hyped! There's a boy named Arnold who is blessed without the pressures of having a personality. His best friend Gerald, the one black person that every white person claims to know. And then there's Helga, who's so tough that she actually names her fists.
You're gonna have to answer to old Betsy.
That's not so tough. I name my fist too. This is Glenda and Pancake. I know it doesn't seem very threatening, but when you look at the,
Did you ever name your fists?
No.
Well, I always considered this one the appetizer, main course.
I've heard that somewhere before.
Well, my thing is just like now I renamed this one to Snap, Crackle, and Pop because well that's your cartilage doing that. Naturally, you're supposed to do that.
I picked that up real good.
Oh yeah, but me, this is just my hand. My hand does this every time I close it like this.
It's not supposed to do that every time.
I know.
That's bad.
I know it is. So I need to get that work done, or else I'm gonna have some troubles. Okay,
Yeah, that's arthritis.
Yeah.
Waiting to happen.
Oh yeah, I know, and it still hurts. It still hurts every now and again. So
Yeah,
anywho,
I wouldn't pop it like that any more than you need to.
I don't. I really don't.
shut up! And they had to deal with tough,
You shut up,
nail-biting
Doug.
city drama that everybody in the Bronx has to deal with. Like,
We're stuck downtown. I'm a strong.
I love that episode.
We don't have any money.
again. Even though Helga constantly makes fun of Arnold, she secretly has a crush on him that quite literally drives her to madness.
Oh, my poor lost sweetheart. How I love you. And yet I hate you. And yet I love you. And yet I hate you. And yet I love you.
We love Arnold. We love him so much. No, we hate Arnold. We hate him so much. Love, hate,
Also,
I'm
maybe it's
gonna
because I
get
don't watch the
crazy.
show, but why does Arnold wear a plaid skirt? I mean, is it a kilt? Is it a jacket? Is he just an open transvestite? I mean, in Brooklyn, that wouldn't surprise me, but come on, how about a little clarification? Oh, well,
It's
for
just a
whatever
long
reason, I
flannel?
guess the show didn't seem that bad from what I saw.
Yeah, I was thinking it was just his,
At least
like,
my peak
the sides of his flannel shirt, because it's like, he's got the collar on it.
It's strange to think that for all the loud and bizarre shows I remember, Nickelodeon actually had a lot of quiet and subtle shows as well. It was like the mood swings of children's programming, but we loved it, every last bit of it. Nicktoons were different, surreal, and one of a kind, making it a very memorable part of our childhoods. And trust me when I say I'm not really as bitter about the whole Doug show as I let on. I mean, it didn't leave nearly as bad a mark as you may think. Oh, the singing. It's coming back! It's coming back! Make it stop! Make it stop! All I had to do is ask. I'm the nostalgia queen. I remember
Nice.
Dedicated to all those who lost their lives in the Great War of the Australian Series. That's good.
So, I need more allowance, yodelay-hoo. I need more allowance, yodelay-hoo. I need more allowance, yodelay-hoo. Why? Because I do. Yodelay-hoo.
You remember this one? You remember this one? O-E-O.
Killer tofu. E-I-E-O-E-O. Killer tofu.
E-I-E. Okay.
I eat my sugar cereal, but it makes my teeth bacterial.
Jesus. You actually know the lyrics like that. That's awesome, dude.
The fact that you know all of these.
Fucking love the beats. They were badass.
Dude, the beats were the shit, man. I remember like the episode where him and Skeeter, it's like, wow, you gotta shout your lungs out. You gotta roll your window down.
Yeah.
Strike a vocal chord. You gotta lose control. Wow! I want that soundtrack, man. I want that friggin' soundtrack. Jesus.
I also remember the episode where they were playing at the arcade and it was Bag the Nematode.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was
Doug
always
spent
like,
all
that game
his
looks
money on
awesome.
that. Yeah, and Doug spent all of his freaking money on that. He was gonna get like a thing for Patty, like as a gift, but turns out he spent all of his money on bagging the nematode.
Yeah.
So instead, what he did was he actually built something else with Mr. Dink, and it turned out to be something he thought was ugly, and he didn't have anything else to give her, and she opened it up and she's like, "Oh, look, it's a beat ball caddy."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Wait, what? No, Patty, it's something." And then she sits her beat balls inside of it, and they all fit, and she's like. All right, he's like, "Oh, it is a beat ball caddy, huh?" Well, there you go.
Yeah, I forgot they had beat ball.
Yeah, that was another thing too. It was like, what?
Made up sport, made up band.
Yeah.
So they had a cool little universe they made up for it.
Yeah, and
or
then
a
there
little
was
town at least.
And then there was one where it was Percy. You remember, like the big angry dude who was on the other team's football team, Percy Weaver. Like the big guy.
I think
and
so.
he was so stupid. Like Doug was trying to tackle him on the football field. And he's like, "Percy, your shoe's untied." And Percy's like, and like leans down, drops the ball, and starts tying his shoe.
Yeah.
Doug picks the ball up and runs it for a touchdown. And then Chalky runs it beside of him. Doug gets tackled and he passes it off to Chalky, and they score a touchdown.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and the coach is just like, "I'm sorry, coach." And he's like, "Funny, what are you talking about? That's the first time we've scored all year."
Yeah.
That's good shit.
Also, Quail Man was always cool.
And then Super Skeeter, who was way too OP.
Yeah.
Way OP. And he was from the plant.
The one episode I always remember, too, of Hey Arnold, was the Stoop Kid.
Stoop Kid's afraid to leave his stoop.
Yeah.
And then
Stoop Kid's afraid to leave his stoop.
And then there was the...
And then I love at the end of the episode where he teaches him to leave his stoop, and they're like, Stoop Kid can't leave his stoop, and he's just like...
Okay.
And they're all like, oh!
Yeah, it was Harold. And he's like, come back here, you big tub of...
He's like screaming like for his mom, basically.
But my favorite part from Hey Arnold is this.
Also, really, like, I still want Arnold's room.
Oh, yeah.
Arnold's room is badass. Fucking remote control fold-out couch and shit.
Oh, dude, yeah. I want that. But this right here is probably my favorite part of of Hey Arnold ever.
I hate the snow. I hate the snow. I hate the rain and I hate the sleet. Man, I sure do hate the snow. Feet are froze and my toes are too. I hate, whoa! I hate the snow.
It just keeps going.
He lost part of his mouth.
Yeah, he's like, I don't care.
I agree, though.
I hate the snow.
That song touches my soul.
It does me too.
I hate the snow.
It's poetry.
I hate the snow.
I hate the rain.
Yeah.
I hate the sleet. But man, I sure do hate the snow. My feet are froze down to my toes. Whoa! I hate the snow. I hate the snow. I love that shit. So you see, I love classic cartoons like that. And it makes me sad that they're gone and we're never going to get them back.
Yeah. I was kind of getting sad just thinking about it when we were watching this. I'm like, man, I wish I could just like rewind my life, like back to like that point.
If I could rewind my life, I'd have never signed up for football, and I'd have never fucked up my knee. I'd have stayed in gymnastics, and I'd have stayed in better shape.
I would have done a lot of stuff differently. I just don't know what.
Instead, I've got this round mass attached to me, and I'm limited by it.
I would have never signed up for a credit card.
Amen.
I would have either. Never tried to get into digital media for college. So that was a mistake.
No, you'd know what to avoid.
Yeah.
You know what to avoid and what to go into, and thus you'd actually probably be more successful.
Maybe.
You never know.
Like my whole thing with that is like I would have to actually. I could sign up for digital media for college, but I would have to practice my craft a lot more growing up to be able to be ready for that. Because you have to be really good for any of that to pay off. But like mostly, like I kind of wish that I had have gotten a degree or gone to school originally when I was taking out student loans. They were actually giving me student loans for being a mechanic, because you have to have a lot of money for tools to buy your own tools to do that. And I thought about going back to school at one point, and I was like, the only thing I can think of that I would really want to go back to school for is to be a mechanic. And I was talking to some people who are mechanics, and they're like, yeah, the only bad thing is that you have to buy your own tools. And I'm like, oh, damn it.
Well, okay, but that's expected, especially if you're going to be an independent mechanic.
Yeah.
Who has a job at a garage. You see, Ethan was in the same boat. You see, he actually had to go out and buy a lot of his own tools. But thankfully, he knew people who was actually giving away a lot of their old tools, and thus he purchased them off of them for like dirt cheap.
Yeah.
And he had himself a really good toolkit, which was like one of those triple layer ones. You open it up and all the stuff's there and everything. He had a really good one for under, I think it was like $120 some odd, which I looked at all the pieces that were in there and I asked how much all that would be together brand new. Over 500, if not more.
Yeah.
So he did good with that. He did really, really freaking good. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we hope you have enjoyed what you've seen here. This has been an escapade with the Nostalgia Critic, a look back at our childhoods. Just all together, just like, wow, what happened, and what happened to me? Where did my life go? Oh yeah,
what is my life? Oh, am I doing this right? Oh,
careful, we're gonna get claimed.
Yeah.
So, anywho, we hope you all have enjoyed what you've seen here. If you want to watch the original video, link is in the description, as always. And if you want to see more of us, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to leave a like. Feel free to comment down below. And also, I guess that's going to do it. I'm Nate.
Nick.
I'm Kyra.
And as always, Micah is on hiatus. And be sure to thank Caleb in the comments. See ya. Bye.